One of the foundational documents in AP U.S. history, and really one of the foundational documents of basic American government, was drafted on board the Mayflower Compact by the Puritans in their voyage from England to America. On board the Mayflower, we see the beginnings of the introduction of basic concepts of American government. So we're going to read through this, and then we will look to identify what those basic elements are. So, as it says, in the name of God, amen, we, whose names are underwritten, the loyal subjects of our dread sovereign Lord King James, by the grace of God and of Great Britain, France, and Ireland, King, defender of the faith, having undertaken for the glory of God and advancement of the Christian faith, the honor of our king and country, a voyage to plant the first colony in the northern parts of Virginia, do by these presents solemnly and mutually in the presence of God and one another, covenant and combine ourselves together into a civil body politic for our better ordering and preservation and furtherance of the ends of aforesaid, and by virtue hereof do enact, constitute, and frame such just and equal laws, ordinances, acts, constitutions, and officers, from time to time, as shall be thought most meet and convenient for the general good of the colony, unto which we promise all due submission and obedience. In witness thereof, we have hereunto subscribed our names at Cape Cod, the 11th of November, in the reign of our sovereign Lord King James of England, France, and England the 18th, and of Scotland the 54th, Anno Domini 1620. Signed the names of the male passengers on board the Mayflower. So I think one of the first elements we see is that the true purpose of forming a government, the part of the advancement of the Christian faith. Okay, this gives, I think, meaning to their voyage to America. But one of the key developments, key words we want to look for is covenant. Okay, covenant is a biblical term. A covenant is usually made between God and his people. And that's the way the Puritans saw themselves. They saw themselves as, this is what we call covenant theology. That the colony they're building in the northern regions of Virginia, where does it say that? Yes, in the northern parts of Virginia, that what they're building there is essentially it's part of a covenant. It's an agreement, that we're going to enter into covenant with God. God is going to give us, he's going to grant us this colony. And in exchange, we promise to obey his laws, God's laws. Covenant theology is all entwined in the Bible. We see covenant theology with Moses, the Ten Commandments. We see covenant theology with Abraham, right? When he enters into covenant. So this idea of covenant theology is very much built into foundational of the government, that the government is going to be in a way ordained by God, and living according to God's commandments is going to be one of the foundational ideas that American government is going to be built on. The next important phrase here is a civil body politic. And this is a civil government. So you got, this is not a covenant. Civil is the government. So it's a political government. And this is a government that all the male members on board the Mayflower are, they're coming together to form a government. Okay. So the purpose of that government is for preservation, self-preservation, preservation of the colony. They say that they will enact, constitute, and pass laws, write constitutions, elect officers. So they're going to select officers. So this is, bit of an offshoot from English government. We're going to see some level of representative government, okay, that it's going to be assumed here, that they will from time to time meet, and this is the key phrase, for the general good of the colony. So this introduces the concept of majority rules, that we're going to get together, we're forming this government, this civil body politic. We're going to, for the purposes of ordering society and preserving it, we are going to, from time to time, pass laws, ordinances, and acts, draft constitutions, and elect officers, which will help promote the general good of the colony. And it's this idea that we're all going to bind together. We're all going to submit to that government, be loyal to that government. We're going to be obedient to that government. And, and we're going to do what's in the general good. Now, that means when you have a representative government, sometimes you're going to find yourself in the majority on an issue or a law or an aim or a desire, and other times you'll find yourselves in the minority. And so the basis of good government is to be obedient and to submit to whatever that government does for the general good of the colony. There's the Mayflower Compact, November 11th, 1620.